Once upon a time, in a land not so different from our own, there lived four individuals named everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. A crucial task needed to be completed, and everybody was confident that somebody would take care of it. Now, the truth was, anybody could have done it, but nobody stepped forward. So, as a result, somebody became furious because it was, after all, everybody's responsibility, and everybody believed that anybody could do it. Yet, nobody understood that everybody was reluctant to act. So, at the end, everybody blamed somebody when nobody accomplished what anybody could have done. And this tale carries a profound message. When no one assumes responsibility, nothing gets done. Unfortunately, this story is not just a cute motivational tale. This is a real problem that is costing you a lot of money, whether you are a business owner, a team manager, or just an employee who wants to be promoted and make more money. Money Arata. This tale unfolds all too often in organizations, companies, and teams, particularly when a culture of accountability is absent. And this is costing you money, and that's why you need to change it immediately. There is a high cost in a corporate culture of finger pointing. To make a real change, you need to identify the low quality questions and replace these questions with better questions that will encourage personal accountability. Remember the tale of everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. There is a memory hook. Now you can have a choice. You can stop watching here. You can just remember this as a mere motivational material that will not really make a real actual change in your life, or you can watch until the end and use this tale as a starting point to actually transform your life. In this episode of the Money Arata series, we're going to be specific and practical. By the end, you'll be ready to apply principles of accountability to transform your work environment and how you can make more money by using a culture of responsibility and collaboration. Now, attention, this is not financial advice. Please read the full disclaimer before proceeding. The tale of everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody helps you to make more money by embracing personal accountability. There are three groups of people who must understand accountability: small business owners, team managers, and employees. If you are a small business owner, you must make sure that your company has a culture of accountability. This will increase the efficiency and the productivity within your organization. When your company has accountability as part of the culture, your employees take responsibility for their actions. They don't waste time discussing irrelevant things like, whose fault is this problem? Who caused that? Instead of that, they focus on high-quality questions such as, what can I do to fix this problem and prevent it from happening again in the future? It is pretty obvious that a company with accountability will have a competitive advantage. Your business becomes more efficient, attracts and retains loyal customers, and ultimately generates higher revenues. Well, this is so obvious. I'm not even going to be trying here to convince you on the importance of having accountability across your entire organization. If you have a business, if you cannot see the benefit of having an accountable team, maybe you shouldn't be in business at all. If you really want to make money as a business owner, you need to see the full explanations that we give in our training at arata.se/trulywealthy. Now, if you want to succeed as a manager, you need to have an accountable team. Otherwise, your team will be wasting time discussing irrelevant things that don't actually bring results. Is accountability a benefit only for the business owners, who then be exploiting their workers even more? Absolutely not. If you work for a company, it doesn't matter if you are the boss, if you're a manager, if you're an employee at the lowest level of the organization, you need to understand, you need to use accountability as part of your daily work to make more money. Team managers who are emphasizing personal accountability create a work environment where their team members can feel empowered. They can feel motivated to perform at their best. This sense of ownership over tasks and projects will lead to faster, more effective results. Just imagine your team without accountability wasting their time discussing problems and whose fault it was. Now compare that with a self-managing team that doesn't waste their time finger pointing. They immediately fix the problem even without you asking for that. Like, listen, if you're the manager, you need to make sure that your team has good performance. This is how you as a manager will receive recognition, promotions, and financial rewards, more money for you. And now, if you are the employee, No matter at which level, you also need to develop your accountability. This is how you get promoted in the right companies. What about if you are an employee at a low level of the organization? Well, first of all, you need to make sure that you're working in the right company, because there are plenty of businesses with archaic structures where the founder doesn't really care about improvement. The manager is like his son-in-law who's an incompetent person, and they maybe even steal money from the company. Well, of course, in an organization like that, it will not pay off to develop your accountability. However, being accountable is something that you can train. It is a skill, and more than that, it is a transferable skill. This means that even if you're working at the worst company in the world, that will explore you, will give you nothing in return, even then, you were able to train yourself, and then you can quit, you can get a better job at a better company, a different company, and over there you're going to be a top performer in a place that will actually value your work ethics. Embracing personal accountability can impact your career growth, your earning potential, the money you have. By taking responsibility for your actions, you actively seek ways to improve, and you can demonstrate a proactive attitude. Then you can become an invaluable asset to the best companies that you can work for. This increased value will lead you to promotions and higher salaries and better job opportunities in more prestigious companies with higher pay. As an employee who wants to make more money because of your merits, your performance, you definitely need to do the activities from our training Truly Wealthy at arata.se/truly wealthy. Doesn't matter whose fault it was, what matters is what you will do to make things better. Have you ever been in a meeting where the main question is something such as, who made this mistake? Well, this type of dynamic makes the whole atmosphere very tense and unproductive. When finger pointing becomes the norm, it puts everyone on a mental mode just searching for the culprits. This leads to internal politics and power games. For example, imagine that it was Bob who dropped the ball. Now, Bob also knows that you know. So the only thing in his head is whether are you going to bust him or not. Now, if you play your cards right, if you keep quiet in that meeting, now you have one extra piece in your power game, and you expect Bob to cover you when you make a mistake in the future. Have you been in companies like that? But this is the dynamic. Nobody works over there. Everybody's playing power games all the time. And this mindset breeds a toxic environment that reduces growth and productivity. In such an environment, collaboration and initiative take a hit. Team members stop trying to think of ways to improve, leading to a less productive team. Because now everybody's focused on getting power, covering their mistakes, and gossiping around. Since there is so little real work being done, the company needs to hire more people than necessary to make up for that lack of efficiency. Now, the stress caused by finger pointing can also make the best talent to go away because they seek healthier work environments with competitors. This loss further weakens your team's performance and ultimately leads your company to have a worse performance. This is why we say that there are sick companies. It's like a disease that needs to be cured. Additionally, finger pointing creates a culture where people only do things if they're told to do so. They don't think, they don't take initiative because if something goes wrong, they just claim that they were just following instructions. They shift the blame to their bosses. If they try to take initiative in something, to do something that has not been requested, and the initiative fails, they are going to be blamed. They're going to be punished. So it's obvious that they'll only do the minimum necessary. You need to identify low quality questions. They focus on blame and negativity. Imagine that you work for a grocery shop that sells directly to your clients, and you notice that often your clients ask the same question over and over again, such as, "Hi, hello, excuse me, can you tell me if these fruits are organic?" So instead of you getting angry and thinking, like, what's wrong with these people? Why do they care about this? Can't they read the fruits are in that shelf that says organic? You need to be aware that these are low quality questions because they focus on blame and negativity rather than addressing the issue at hand. Low quality questions hinder your ability to find solutions to actually improve your work environment. They come from a place of frustration and defensiveness. They're causing you to focus on external factors instead of taking personal responsibility. So, as an employee of this grocery store, it is essential to recognize the quality of your questions and strive to shift towards high quality questions that promote problem solving, promote collaboration. So, instead of asking, can't they read? You have to consider asking yourself, well, how can we make the labeling more prominent, more clear to our customers? What can I do to proactively inform customers about our organic options. This is a structural difference between low quality and high quality questions. You can change how you ask these questions to yourself. So let's see if you have already learned how to use our tale of everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody into practice. Let's revisit this grocery store example to see how these ideas can be applied. Instead of asking, can't they read the labels? We reframe the question as, how can I make the labeling more prominent and more clear to our customers? To turn a low quality question into a high quality question, you have to make sure to use the structure of, how can I do this? What can I do about this? Here's a low quality question for you. Why do we always have communication issues? How would you think differently to have a high quality question? Well, instead of asking, why do we always have these communication issues? You can ask, what can I do to improve communication within the team? Let's do one more exercise. Here's a low quality question for you. When are they going to be fixing this problem? Now, please turn it into a high quality question. You can ask, how can I contribute to finding a solution? Notice that it's not necessarily that you have to be always the person fixing all the problems. You can contribute to find the solution. By examining your thoughts and becoming aware of the quality of your questions, you can transform your mindset. You can create a more positive, collaborative, and productive work environment. High quality questions not only lead to better solutions, but they also promote personal accountability, empowering you and your team members to take responsibility for your actions and seek continuous improvement. So the next time you catch yourself asking low quality questions, remember to pause, reflect, and reframe your thoughts into high-quality questions that will drive positive change and growth. Learning to ask better questions can have a profound impact on our professional lives. It fosters a mindset of personal accountability, encouraging you and your team members to take responsibility for your actions and seek continuous improvement. So the next time you find yourself asking low-quality questions, pause and reframe your thoughts into high-quality, action-focused questions. In our training, Truly Wealthy, we'll be practicing this in detail, and you can start now by visiting arata.se/trulywealthy.